Alright, we're on to another project here. This is a 72 Sportster, modified quite a bit different ways, not all good. Very unreliable bike, doesn't handle for squat. Can't seem to ride it for more than about 15-20 minutes without something breaking and falling off the damn thing. He spent quite a bit of time working on it. He's tired of dealing with it. He's frustrated, mad at it. He likes the bike, but he can't ride it, so he's not happy. So now it's here for me to fix it. So he kind of wants a street tracker looking bike also. At least that's what he thinks this bike should look like. Or basically just a nice stripped down Sportster that works good. So basically kind of what it looks like now, but be totally different. So, but anyway, we'll play with this a little bit. This 72 Sportster. Motor, tranny, all that's been worked on. It seems to run good. So now it's just a matter of everything else. So it's too damn hot to work in the shop here. Sweating like a pig all day today, so it's getting late in the day out here. We're going to work outside. Definitely a lot more fun out here. A lot cooler. That's a 10-degree drop just moving over to here. So I'm going to work on this for an hour or two, and then I'll get back to do some real work. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to strip this thing down. He's got 2-inch drag pipes on here that don't work. So we're going to get rid of those. 1 3/4 is all you need. Anything bigger than that, they don't tune correctly. So they run like crap. He's already got an S&S on here, it looks like. Yep. So we might do some kind of a horseshoe oil tank and get rid of ugly ass Sportster stuff. The front end steers very heavily and it flexes a lot. So when you turn on the bars up here, it doesn't do much on the bar underneath. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm holding the front end here on the bar and I'm turning the front wheel by pushing on it. Here, we're against the fork lock this way, so see the amount of flex there? So we're against the fork stop, look at this. See, it moves a couple inches. So you got a lot of flex in this system. It's very, very heavy steering. It feels like it's got a big long ass front end on it, but it doesn't. So it's a dual disc front end, 77 to 83. Someone put a lot of money in it, all chrome, got brand new calipers on it. They did some stainless rotors, new front wheel was put on it. Got new tire on it now, that didn't help much. The brakes are leaking, the lines up here are leaking down, the master cylinder's leaking. This is new. So he's been working on it, but he's had a lot of problems. You see the fungi growing around down on here. This is some kind of a homemade looking thing here. I just used a factory tease, worked real nice. I don't know what all it's about. So the lines are a little bit on the short side. I don't know why he's got these twisties in there. That's not correct. That's not good. So anyway, they're bad. He's got these 5-gallon fat blob tanks up under here, which barely fit. Look like crap. Like you said, side view looks good. Top view looks like crap. They're all breaking, falling off. There's the bracket here. Used to be mounted like that. That nut's loose. So yeah, more stuff falling off. He says when you turn the switch on, it just starts smoking from underneath, so probably something's not very good. I've never seen a clear single flasher before. Nice. More junk. His girlfriend doesn't like the back. Her butt tends to fall off the back of the bike here. The foot pegs go up and down with a swing arm instead of being off the stock bracket, come up under here. These are FL8 shocks off the panhead. This should be correct for this bike over here. It's my 59. Those are what the shocks are for right there. But when you stick them on a Sportster, that's 150, 200 pounds lighter. It's a little bit too stiff. You can tell it's not Sportster because look how big the wire is on this spring. There's my pinky. It's half the size of my pinky, so these are the real heavy springs. These are 13.5-inch shocks. So the bike looks like it's been lowered a bunch because the fender sits so low, but it's not really lowered. The fender's lowered a bunch. It's a custom fender and they mounted it real low, but And they put these, it's got this real tall side on here instead of being rounded like they normally are, so it just makes it look like it's lowered, but it's not really lowered. You can see how much ground clearance has got underneath it. So it gives you an illusion of being lowered when it's not. But so it looks like the rear wheel was recently replaced. It's, you know, all this stuff's been worked on recently. I know he's put all new starter stuff in here. He's replaced a bunch of seals. You can see all the leaks still all over the place. So obviously it's still leaking. This forward control junk here, it's all, you see it's loose on the shaft here. Plus the whole shaft's going like this, so it's all, the bushing in here is gone. You can see how this has been bent and loose. So that's all your shifting mechanism. It's just, yeah, great stuff. So he kind of likes the idea of being a mid-control, going back to stock, so we're going to just rip all this crap off. The brake side over here is not much better. You can see how low the brake drags underneath the bike, which is always good for making your brakes work. So anyway, I don't know why he's got that hanging low like that. There's no reason for that rod to be bent, so it just makes it lower. It's got a big ass battery in there. Doesn't need that in there. So, but anyway, we're going to start stripping this thing all off and just fixing all the junk on it. These T-bars aren't very good. They're uncomfortable to ride. And your wrists are at the wrong angle with these things. The headlight appears to be looking for helicopters or something. So maybe he's running from the law, trying to find out where they're at or something. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to strip all this stuff off and then see what's going on. So anyway, that's where we're at for now. Typical bike you buy and then spend a lot of money on it and it's still a pile of crap. So time to fix it. So we'll see what we find when we get into it. I'm sure there'll be a lot of really nice stuff in there. There easily is. See if that's a good camera view. Looks good enough for me. Should be able to see what I'm working on. Yeah, I use these pads here to put my knees and stuff on. I've been using these for years. They look pretty good. My knees don't like being on concrete for an hour to 2 at a time, so it makes it a lot easier to work on the ground. I ain't got no room in the shop to work. Plus it's too damn hot in here anyway, so good reason to work outside. Alright. We're definitely going to be using air tools. We got a bunch of empty boxes to start throwing stuff into. As we take it off the bike. I'll probably make a big mess on the ground, I bet, too. Some old towels and stuff to collect crap with. So I'm going to start with the exhaust system and the controls and kind of work my way up a little bit. The lower might give you a better view. So, butterfly is your friend. Tool bucket. All the good stuff's in there. Alright. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this stupid ass shifting mechanism here. Screws are loose, not a good sign. It's too far away. Let me get this where you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit. There we go. Okay, that'll be good for knocking a tripod over. The air line's wrapped around the leg over there. So your shifting mechanism shouldn't be loose like this. These things are notorious for coming loose. There are tricks to make them not come loose. First thing is you don't use this lever, you use a different one. What I like to do is I use the Sportster spline shift shaft off the 74 to 1973 4-bike. Then I would take the lever off of a FLT inner shifter for 90s. Maybe about this long, and you cut them, put a hole in it where you want the rod, and you got a spline lever that never came loose. And you can make the shift linkage whatever you want it to be for shifting. And work good. Somebody drilled some holes through here. They probably got Loctite on these screws because they're tight. Well, I'm pretty sure the shift shaft's going to be bad. We'll have to pull the tranny apart to change it out. Big holes in the shaft. I figured they used it. Air cleaner's in the way. Wonderful. Yep. So you can put the clamp on the right direction. You can use tools to get it off. Could use L wrenches. Oh, it wasn't even all that tight either. It figures. Pretty much loose. Probably because I couldn't get to it. Alright. Half inch. Make it so you can't get to anything. That's a weird clamp. Looks broken too. Not exactly tight. Yeah, I think it's broken. Oh yeah. Yep, it's broken. motor mount to get that one off. No problem. Motor mount. Bolts in there good and tight for some reason. There we go. Yeah, one pipe off. One spot, one piece off. Looking better already. Motor mount off. Well, that was under a little tension. Oh yeah. The whole motor just shifted over. That's called being under a bind condition. Junk. I guess the parts for sale. Anybody need them? Alright, so the whole motor mount just fell over on the bike, so moved over about a 1/4 inch. So, see the space right in here? These motor mounts are under a severe amount of stress for some reason. So you can see how they moved all the way over. So that usually means either this is wrong up in here, or this bracket in here is probably broken, would be my guess, but I can't see in there. But you can see how much all this stuff moved over, so it moved over a lot. Oh, and they used all thread here for bolts. Wonderful. And nothing like using grade butter. See how much load that's under? I got so close. So that's obviously a really good system there. And of course, you run your electrical, you use your ignition wire underneath the frame rail, so if you ever hit anything on the ground, your bike quits running, so that's not good. Shouldn't be doing that. Okay, you've got this peak hose. Oh, there it is. It goes way the hell over there, and it lays there and ends. So that's in a really good spot too. So maybe that should be redone a little bit also. I don't like these things because they make me bleed every time I touch them. Hate stainless. Terrible stuff. You can see the holes they put in the shift shaft, so this shift shaft's junk. You can see how loose that bushing is. You can hear it. So that needs to be replaced. That means I have to pull the tranny out now. So that means I got to pull this cover off here, so I got access to the gears. So it's escalating. Oh, if your carburetor moves like this, it might be an air leak. I'm surprised it didn't just fall right off, just yanking on it there. Yeah, these clamps are not very good securely mounted. This is a custom bracket. I like how this goes down. It makes a 90-degree turn. There's no support. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to do. It'll just break off right here if it did anything. It's not really doing anything anyway. Alright, so we have a nice massive intake leak there. Yeah, that's if you can move your carburetor, it leaks. I'll guarantee you that right now. So if you can grab a carburetor and it goes like that, you know you got a problem. So we got more issues. I'm positively shocked. There's problems already. It didn't take long, did it? Now when you got stuff under a stress condition like that, it's going to fail. Because things don't like to be stressed. Just like I don't like being stressed all the time. See, they break like this. When things are under stress, they break. And these piece of crap, thin-ass lock washers here don't do a damn thing. If you ever did torque it down, it would just flatten out and be junk. thing here. Wasn't exactly tight. So far everything I've touched has been kind of loose. Either loose or kind of loose. Which means it's baby tight. Alright, more junk going away. What we got back here? Let's use the right socket. Okay, they're gone. We might use these later, maybe not. Hopefully not. When you get a greasy tool, clean it off. It doesn't make all your stuff gooey that you touch. Holding that on is the dirt, I think. You got dirty. I think we got some extra parts for sale. Alright, what else we got going on here? Ooh, chain's nice and tight. I just bought that recently, I bet. We'll keep that. That's a good part. And that's tight. Plus. Ah, son of a bitch. That thing bit me. Yeah, motor mount's broken too. Damn it. The bike's already fighting back. I just got near it and bit me already. Damn. It's starting to bleed already. Look at that. Blood coming out of there. That's it. We're charging extra to the blood money. You always charge extra when you bleed. I ain't even disconnected the battery yet or anything. It's already bit me. Left a booby trap under here. See this thing right here? Look at that sharp ass edge right up on top of there. That thing bit a hold of my ass and got me. See, whenever you cut stuff off your bike, make sure you take the damn thing all the way off your bike. It's going to take two hands to get that off. Yeah. Yeah, what's out of the way now? Yeah, what I wanted to see is I want to look at the motor mount. See if there's a crack right there. No, it's not cracked yet. It looked like there was a crack. It's not. Just that dirt. Yeah, it actually isn't broken yet. I'm shocked. That's a plus. Got one good part on the bike. That's a good deal. Alright. Get rid of that damn bracket now. Gee. It's attacking me. Yeah, that's dangerous. Yeah, booby traps. That's another good one there. Okay, that's not supposed to be a bolt on your brake linkage. It's supposed to be a clevis pin so that it pivots. I need a lower tripod, I think. See, this here is a bolt. That's supposed to not be a bolt. It's supposed to be a clevis pin so it freely floats. So that's not very good. He didn't like how his brake was almost out of adjustment too. The problem is that his adjustment here is wrong. See how the lever's way back like this? It should be more up here. So if you take this and unscrew it, so this lever isn't all that far forward. And when you're hitting against a chain guard, you're way too far forward. Problem is improper installation and adjustment is the problem. Okay, now this here is supposed to be, it's in a different spot, so we're going to do that. 7/16. There it is. It helps to film when I'm supposed to be filming here. I learned that from Fred. Okay, so this here, lever here, see this adjustment screw bolt under here, they got it all the way up. It should be down a lot further, and this lever should be more or less up about in here. So you can see how far I move this thing forward now. So it should be about like that. That way when you work the brake, you go over center and back and forth. Center straight up and down. You get maximum leverage just before and just after center. That's your maximum travel, maximum leverage. So you look at your leverage height between here and here, and before it was way back here. So the effective height, instead of being here, is up here. You got more leverage. So it makes the brake work better and less effort for you. So that's how it's supposed to be adjusted. So all this is misadjusted. I'm really shocked that things are put together wrong in a Harley. And that's bad right there. Let's see, that is a 9/16. I need this one. I gotta take this rear wheel off anyway, so I'm just undoing this right now. There we go. I'm gonna be back in here in the brakes. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that off right there. Get it out of my way. Like that. There, it's off. Okay, I'm going to take this off. This whole rod will come out of here. We're going to leave the switch on the swing arm now for now. I'm going to pull the swing arm out and check the bearings in there later, but for now we're going to leave it. So getting all kinds of nice problems already. We're just getting going on it. Off your tools. Or some dirty ass tools. So when you use a bolt for a clevis pin, it just eats up the threads and it gets real loose. It also tears up the other parts. That's why you don't use those. There you go. Put that out there to get out of our way. All right. That might be a little bit too loose. Yeah. At best it was loose, and one was loose. If you throw it on the floor like that and slide it all over the place, it scratches the hell out of your cover. So don't do that. See how this has got all these scratch marks on here? It's because that's what they've been doing. Keep it upright. It doesn't scratch it up. Put the air cleaner back in the hole, that helps too. People like doing it the wrong way for some reason. Tight now. Got no clamp on the fuel? Nice. What do you need a clamp for on your fuel line for? There's no reason for that. No reason at all for that. Oh. That's the oil line going up and down. That means that's a leak. Yeah, this one's leaking pretty good. My guess is the rubber's not there, the wrong one's in there or something. So they got one Phillips screw here and two straight blade here, so that's not correct. And it's loose. When these go inside your motor, it's really bad. It does all kinds of damage in there. The only worse than a screw bead in there is that lock washer's in there too. It does even more damage. Use the correct hardware would be nice. So they got the Super B style choke on here, which is just a pop-up lever. Instead of using the correct Super E one, which comes off the backside here and goes like this, you got better access. I put my air cleaner back together and it stays in one spot. Cable's out, and it'll take long to get it. There's nothing holding this on here anymore except those stupid ass clamps. Just tight enough I can't yank it off. Usually I can yank stuff off like that. Looks like we did have a clamp on this gas line. I think there is some gas in it, so we'll have to work on that. Okay, I pretty well got everything off on this side of the bike. That's I'm going to take off right this minute. I'm going to go on the other side of the bike. See what we can do on that side. Slide across. Put the oil. Okay, we'll be back. I can get a gas jug and some other stuff.